Change your thinking, change your life. Chapter 1, Part 1. The story you believe about yourself. What if the person you believe you are is not the person you were born to become? What if your fear, your lack of confidence, and the voice that keeps saying, "I am not good enough," were not originally yours? What if those ideas were placed inside your mind by old experiences, painful words, and other people's opinions? And what if you could replace them? Welcome to Better Mindset. Today we begin Chapter 1 of Brian Tracy's book, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. This is Part 1, the story you believe about yourself. Your life is influenced by the picture you carry inside your mind. Before you take action, you imagine. Before you become confident, you must begin to see yourself as capable. And before your outside life changes, something inside you must change first. But many people spend years trying to improve their circumstances without questioning the identity controlling their decisions. They try to earn more money, build better relationships, or become more successful while still believing, "I am not talented. I always fail. People will reject me. Someone like me cannot succeed." Those beliefs quietly become instructions. The chapter begins with the story of a woman whose early life was filled with criticism and unfair treatment. As she grew older, those experiences shaped the way she saw herself. She became fearful, shy, and deeply insecure. She did not believe that she was valuable. She did not believe that she was especially talented. And she carried the emotional weight of her childhood into her adult life. Then, one day, everything changed. While driving, she was involved in a serious accident. When she woke up in the hospital, she could speak and understand people, but she could not remember her past. Her memory was gone. She did not recognize her husband. She did not recognize her children. She could not remember the criticism, the painful experiences, or the identity she had built around them. At first, this appeared to be only a tragedy. But something unexpected happened. Because she wanted to understand her condition, she began studying memory loss. She read medical books. She met specialists. She asked questions. She eventually wrote about her experience and was invited to speak before medical professionals. For the first time, people treated her as someone whose thoughts mattered. They listened to her. They respected her knowledge. They valued what she had to say. And gradually, she became a completely different person. She became positive, confident, outgoing, articulate, respected. The woman who once believed she had little value became someone others considered knowledgeable and important. What changed? She was still the same human being. She had the same natural abilities. The difference was that the old story controlling her life had disappeared. Her memory loss removed the negative identity she had accepted during childhood. Without those old beliefs constantly telling her who she built a new identity from new experiences. Now, this does not mean that forgetting your past is the solution. The lesson is deeper than that. The lesson is that many of the limits you feel today may not be facts. They may be learned conclusions. At some point, someone may have criticized you. You may have failed at something important. You may have been rejected, embarrassed, ignored, or compared with someone else. And instead of seeing that moment as one experience, you may have turned it into an identity. You stopped saying, "I failed at this," and began saying, "I am a failure." You stopped saying, "Someone rejected me," and began saying, "I am not worthy of love." You stopped saying, "I do not know how to do this yet," and began saying, "I am not capable." This is how experiences become beliefs, and beliefs become behavior. The chapter describes the mind as being like a blank slate at the beginning of life. A child does not arrive already believing that they are intelligent or unintelligent, worthy or worthless, confident or incapable. Those ideas are learned. Every repeated word, reaction, success, failure, criticism, and expression of love leaves a mark. Over time, those marks become a self-concept. Your self-concept is the collection of beliefs you hold about yourself. It influences what you expect, what you attempt, what you avoid, how you respond to opportunities, and how you interpret what happens to you. Think of it as the hidden program running beneath your daily life. If the program says, "I am capable," you are more likely to attempt difficult things, learn from mistakes, and continue after setbacks. But if the program says, "I am not good enough," you may avoid opportunities before they even have the chance to change your life. This is why two people can face the same challenge and respond completely differently. One person sees a problem and thinks, "This is difficult, but I can learn." Another sees the same problem and thinks, "This proves that I am not capable." The event may be the same, the meaning is different, and that meaning changes the action that follows. Your beliefs do not simply describe your life, they help direct it. The good news is that learned beliefs can be questioned. The story placed inside your mind is not permanent. You are not required to spend the rest of your life obeying conclusions you formed when you were young, afraid, inexperienced, or hurting. You can examine them, you can challenge them, and you can begin writing a better story. Start by asking yourself, what do I believe about myself? Where did that belief come from? Is it a fact, or is it an old interpretation? Does this belief help me grow, or does it keep me small? Maybe you have spent years saying, "I am not confident." Change it to, "I am learning to speak and act with confidence." Maybe you believe, "I am bad with money." Change it to, "I can learn the habits required to manage money wisely." Maybe you believe, "I always give up." Change it to, "I am becoming someone who finishes what they begin." Do not pretend that transformation happens instantly. A new belief becomes powerful through repetition, evidence, and action. You must speak differently to yourself. You must notice your progress. And you must begin acting like the person you are becoming. Your past may explain some of your beliefs, but it does not have to control your future. You cannot change every word that was spoken to you. You cannot erase every painful experience. But you can decide what those experiences will mean from this point forward. You can decide that rejection made you stronger, that failure taught you, that hardship prepared you, and that your beginning does not determine your ending. Here is your challenge before part 2. Take a piece of paper and write down 3 limiting beliefs you currently hold about yourself. Next to each belief, write, "Is this completely true?" Then replace it with a belief that is realistic, empowering, and connected to action. For example, "I cannot succeed" becomes, "I can learn the skills required to improve my life." "I am not confident" becomes, "Confidence grows each time I act despite fear." "My past ruined me" becomes, "My past taught me what I must now overcome." Your life begins to change when the way you see yourself begins to change. You are not only the person your past created, you are also the person your present choices are building. In part 2, we will explore how childhood criticism creates the fear of failure and the fear of rejection, and how those fears can continue controlling adult decisions without us realizing it. Subscribe to Better Mindset so you do not miss the next part. Remember, think better, live better, be better.